Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News. This channel is dedicated to clear, factual, and responsible updates about the Iraqi dinar and the broader economic developments shaping Iraq's financial future. Before we begin, a quick reminder that nothing in this video should be considered financial advice. Everything shared here is strictly informational and educational. Always do your own research and consult a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. Now let's slow things down and take a careful look at a statement that has been circulating across dinar communities. Some discussions suggest that notifications could arrive early in the week, followed by possible exchanges shortly after. Whenever people hear specific timing like this, especially tied to exact days, it naturally creates excitement. Expectations rise quickly, conversations accelerate, social media lights up. But in finance, emotional reactions can often lead to misunderstandings. As responsible analysts, our goal isn't to react to rumors. Our goal is to evaluate information logically, cautiously, and within a real-world economic framework. The first question we should always ask is simple. Notifications from whom? In formal financial systems, currency changes are never delivered informally. They come directly from official institutions. In the case of Iraq, monetary policy decisions are handled by the Central Bank of Iraq, often in coordination with the Ministry of Finance and government leadership based in Baghdad. These announcements are structured, documented, and released through official channels such as press statements, regulatory circulars, or formal publications. They are not shared through community speculation or private messages. That distinction is extremely important. Large-scale currency actions, whether redenomination, exchange rate adjustments, or broader monetary reform, are complex operations. They involve coordination between commercial banks, regulators, international partners, and payment systems. Liquidity must be carefully managed. Banks must prepare compliance procedures. Technology systems must be updated. Public communication must be clear to prevent panic or confusion. These steps require planning and transparency. Nothing about that process happens overnight. Iraq's financial system is also deeply connected to the global economy. The country works closely with institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. These organizations provide guidance on fiscal stability, reserve management, and structural reforms. When a country coordinates with partners of this scale, major currency decisions are rarely sudden or secret. They tend to follow formal schedules and documented procedures. So when we hear a claim that assigns specific weekdays to notifications or exchanges, we have to step back and think realistically. Global finance doesn't operate on countdowns. It operates on policy frameworks. Historically, when Iraq adjusted its exchange rate or implemented monetary measures, those actions were communicated through official documentation and implemented through licensed banking channels. There were press releases, explanations, and preparation periods. That's how credibility is maintained in financial markets. Let's also consider the broader economic context. Iraq's economy remains heavily supported by oil exports. Energy revenue forms a large portion of government income. Because of this, any significant movement in the value of the dinar would directly affect budgets, imports, inflation, and public spending. A stronger or weaker currency changes purchasing power across the entire country. That's why the Central Bank of Iraq monitors foreign reserves and inflation very carefully. Sudden, unstructured changes could create instability, which central banks work very hard to avoid. Instead, reforms tend to be gradual and deliberate. Over the past several years, Iraq has focused on strengthening its financial foundation. Banking modernization has become a priority. Digital payment systems are expanding. Anti-corruption efforts are increasing. Regulatory oversight is improving. Transparency standards are being raised. These structural improvements may not generate flashy headlines, but they are exactly what create long-term currency stability. In other words, real progress is usually quiet and methodical. If a true nationwide exchange process or redenomination were approaching, we would likely see clear preparatory signals. Banks would receive formal guidance. Financial media would report confirmed updates. Public awareness campaigns would begin to educate citizens. International partners would acknowledge the transition. Those signs would be visible because credibility and clarity are essential for market confidence. Without those signals, it's safer to view specific timing claims as unverified. There's also an emotional component that's worth discussing. Predictions tied to certain days can create urgency and anticipation. People begin counting down. Expectations build. But repeated unfulfilled timelines can damage trust and create frustration. That's why balanced analysis matters. Staying grounded protects you from reacting to every rumor that appears. For dinar holders outside Iraq, understanding the difference between official exchange rates and parallel market chatter is critical. Only the official rate established by the central bank carries legal authority. Parallel market fluctuations simply reflect supply and demand. They do not represent formal policy. Looking at the bigger picture, the future value of any currency depends on fundamentals: economic growth, political stability, fiscal discipline, foreign reserves, infrastructure development, investor confidence. These are the forces that truly shape exchange rates over time. Sustainable currency strength is built slowly, not announced suddenly. This is why patience remains one of the most important traits in currency markets. Responsible investors rely on documentation, not speculation. They track official sources, not rumors. And they make decisions based on verified information, rather than emotional momentum. So what does all of this mean? It means that any claim about specific notification or exchange dates should be treated carefully, unless it comes directly from official authorities. Until confirmation appears from recognized institutions, it remains speculation, not policy. As always, we will continue monitoring verified updates from the Central Bank of Iraq and other credible sources. If real developments occur, we'll break them down clearly and explain exactly what they mean in practical terms. Thank you for spending your time here and choosing informed analysis over hype. If you value calm, fact-based coverage of Iraqi dinar news and global financial developments, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future updates. Stay patient, stay informed, and we'll continue following the story together in the next video.